Actually, two of my seniors earlier joined UFP, and I was also looking at a few like learning opportunities for the urban area. So that's how I came here. I actually because for my master's education, I needed a strong research background and understanding of urbanization in context of global south. So many faculties at IHS have worked and did some extensive research for the global south. So that's my privilege to learn from these people. The cohort is like a really good mix. There are some people like some journalist, some environmentalist, or maybe some literature people also there. So like obviously you can find different context of the same problem with their different approaches. So I believe that's the most diverse part about it, and that's really make it worth. My graduate education was in planning. So obviously we do study how the settlements or the cities or like these things work. So but my understanding from my education was more on the physical infra and non-living things obviously. And but like when I started studying here, I actually was exposed to the anthropology part of that, which is how human relations and different things work out and how they impact all of this and how everything is connected to each other. So yeah, that helped me to bridge that gap, and I my current education is really extended from the earlier one. Actually, like it started on a very slow note for me because my previous education was like really helpful for that. Like earlier few days, I was like, yeah, a lot of things are happening, and I know all of these. But when we joined here in person and focused lectures on different topics, like a whole day workshop for a single thing was taken. So that was the really important factor to get a hold of any topic in a very strong mode, and you get to know the very basics, and you also get readings which are relevant to your vicinity. Yeah, it does, because obviously like we all know the like Asia and Africa are the future for like global growth, and the urbanization in India is happening rapidly. Like we can see every single day thousands of migrants traveling to nearby city. So it really makes sense to get a hold of this thing and work around how you build your practice around these phenomenon. I was actually a bit skeptic when online thing started because like you have to sit in front of a computer screen, and like since morning to evening you have to do that, and after that you have to work around some assignment or some research or reading that was provided for the next class. And at the same time there were faculties who were providing office hours. So I guess that was the best part, like faculties providing office hours almost every single day, so you can connect to a person and just uh, tell them ki how are you feeling. They would understand, and they would help you out with that thing. So that helped me for the online thing. And post offline, like that's going really well. We are learning a lot of things and a really fast pace, so it makes sense. The best part would be looking at a lot of things which are usually ignored in our traditional education system. We do study in planning a lot of things about how society work, how things around us work, governance, politics, these things work, finances work. But the very human factor is not counted. how humans we interact with our surrounding, how our personal things interact, and how they affect all of this. So that thing is the major takeaway for me. I actually have taken urban and regional economic development elective, and the next one is for the digital labor. Right now, we usually understand economic hubs as physical locations which have like bustling markets or high-end stores available there, and we get, okay, this is the major economic hub or the CBD for the city. But these digital labor right now, like freelancing, online jobs, and these things which are decentralized, they does not make sense in our traditional planning practices. I believe that would be a really great thing to understand this and merge it with my planning practice for future. In the qualitative lab, it's not like usual numbers that you have ki 1500 people prefer this thing over that. It's like they make certain choices, and what affects these choices, like there may be certain biases, there may be certain uh, things that they prefer over other. So these all things are coming out. So I guess that's the best part of that lab. I'm currently working on Mabe Delhi project. In master plan, we usually consider the land and land its value and how it is used. So the informal economy or the informal settlements, they are usually not considered as part of a good master plan. So My Bay Delhi project is just to reverse the master planning process, like engaging people, engaging different stakeholders, which make the city. It's not the only formal cities like we saw during the COVID lockdown, like the exodus of migrants returning back. People did not know these many people live in their city. So that thing really like came out. Ki, if we are actually thinking about such people, have we ever planned about people who we really like ignore? So Mabi Delhi project is to look after different ignore sections of society and different geographies which are not counted. You have studied a fast-paced master's or a graduate level academic program here, and if you are living like returning back to your original practice without experimenting the learnings that you have taken so far, it would not make sense. So you have to work around things and you have to look for new trajectories which may be your future, which may affect your future practice. There are two parts of that. Like first is in the academic life that we are having at HS building. The second one is we all fellows living in a co-living space. So like these two are very like opposite things. Like many people like we all work around in the IHS building, the academic program, and we learn a lot of academic things, you may say. But when we return to our living space, then the formality is gone, the very basic stand of looking at things is gone. We sit together, we hang out together, we learn from different experiences that were not shared in the class. So these things matter a lot. So this is how I would describe the life at IHS. There were many master classes where we were able to interact with some really brilliant people, which I believe I would not have been able to connect ever. So yeah, that provided a better understanding of how to understand how to learn from these like brilliant peoples in academy or practice, and the way we should start our practice, or we just literally ask them if our current trajectory is making sense or not. So like they do guide us on personal note, and for future obviously it's a good way to connect with people. I would say if you want to experiment, and if you are courageous enough to take a stand for against the traditional practices, you should join the UFE program.